Hi, Tony DeWitt here, Missouri appellate attorney and a guy who likes to make the law make sense on YouTube. Today I'm going to try to make sense of something that makes absolutely no sense. We're going to talk about the Las Vegas smoke shop stabbing. I'll have more on that in just a moment. There is a difference between self-defense and defense of property. You can use physical force to defend property, but you cannot use deadly force to defend property except in a few jurisdictions and under a few specific conditions. Generally speaking, life is precious and we have an obligation to preserve life. I have been one of the people who have fought hardest for the Castle Doctrine and for good laws with regard to self-defense. Many of you know I felt like the Rittenhouse case was an abuse of prosecutorial discretion. But the Las Vegas smoke shop case is not a case of self-defense. Now, I do not intend to replay any of the video here in this video. If you want to see that video, it's all over YouTube. It's all over Facebook. It's all over Twitter. You can find it if you want to look at it. Frankly, I think the more places that video goes, the weaker our arguments for self-defense become generally and universally, because that was very clearly not self-defense. Now, in this encounter, what happened is two kids came in, and I say kids because you can tell by their voice they're not adult males. They're probably in the teens. And they decided they wanted to rip off this smoke shop, so one of them grabbed the tip jar and tried to walk away. And then when he was asked to bring the tip jar back, he brought it back and then reached across the counter and tried to steal something. While the clerk went to go stop him, the guy who had originally took the tip jar, from stealing something, the other guy jumped the counter and started stealing something. I'm pretty sure this was a planned move on the part of both of the two geniuses who decided to engage in this criminal activity. And I don't want anybody to think for even a moment that I am in any way minimizing the criminal activity. Absolutely, these two should have been prosecuted. And absolutely, this person should have been able to punch these guys and knock them out if that was what was necessary to stop them. But he was not privileged to stab them. And I think maybe he could have gotten away with one slice, so to speak, if he claimed that he thought he saw a gun or something of that nature. But he said he was just in fear of his life. But under Nevada law, bare fear is not enough. Somebody has to have the ability, the present ability, to cause you, or to be a lethal threat, or to cause great bodily harm. In other words, you can't fear that they have something in their bag and shoot or stab them. They have to actually manifest an intent by displaying some kind of weapon. And the individual that got stabbed did not display a weapon. More importantly, once he had clearly surrendered, went limp in this guy's arm, the clerk continued to stab him. That is aggravated assault. It is not self-defense. And I know this is an unpopular opinion, right? I know that the law and order types out there, myself included, would like nothing more than to see these two jerks go to jail for a nice long time so that they have a chance to think about how stupid they were. And the fact that sometimes people do get hurt very badly when they try to commit a robbery shouldn't be lost on the rest of criminality generally. But what you can't do is, if you are defending, you can't defend with lethal force unless you are opposing lethal force. And in this case, that did not happen. So I want to be clear, again, these individuals that were doing the robbery should have been arrested and prosecuted. They were. They are arrested. They are more than likely going to be prosecuted. But the clerk should also be arrested and charged with either aggravated assault or attempted murder or both. In fact, if I were the prosecutor, I'd charge him with both, and then I would plea bargain it down to aggravated assault so that the clerk, who is thought to sort of also be a victim here, so that the clerk could negotiate down for a lower sentence. I think that would be a just result here. He's very lucky that the individual that he stabbed did not die, because if he had died, I do believe he would be looking at second-degree murder. And I haven't heard whether there's been any arrests in that yet, but I suspect that at some point there will be. Again, I know this is an unpopular opinion. I'm sure people are going to disagree. I invite you to disagree. Please leave your comments down below. The bottom line is, if you keep it clean, it's much nicer, and we can agree to disagree and get along. You don't have to be disagreeable to disagree. You just have to disagree. And I'm fine with you disagreeing, trust me. Believe me, that's how the world works, if we can have a rational discourse about this. So, again, if you haven't already, please go over here and subscribe to our channel. Tap on the notification bell. That way you can be notified whenever we release a video here. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching and have a terrific day. I'll catch you on here next time.